I am gonna be talking about the next YouTube video that goes live this Sunday. I am really, really excited for this video, probably since I have been, I think for the last 7 months, I think is how long I've been excited to release this video. What I've noticed with starting this channel is that I thought I was gonna be putting out a video a week. I don't know how I thought I was gonna do that, but it seemed like, that's easy enough. I'm used to editing videos and making short form videos, and oh my gosh, it is not the same thing, at all. So actually I've recently started working with an editor. Her name is Pam, and she is absolutely incredible. And it's now really helping me get back up to date, with what's going on in the real timeline. It's honestly the video that's getting released this Sunday. It happened about 7 months ago. It's happened already, I guess, 10 months. Oh my gosh. It's almost going to be a year. How is that even possible? So what this next episode is about is that I am first going to find my eyebrow brush, and then I will talk about it. Is that I end up going on my first kind of group outing since I moved to Colombia. So for those of you that don't know, I moved to Colombia last December, and I had basically completely starting over. I had quit my job. I gave up my apartment. Well, didn't give it up. I kind of got kicked out, but that's another story. And I decided that, you know what, I think it just really makes sense for my career and all the projects that I want to do for me to go to Colombia and for me to kick off all those projects there. So what I did is exactly that. So I came to Colombia. You can see that in the most recent episode, and today is October 7th, 8th. I don't know. But basically, you can check out how all of that sort of happened of when I actually first. Hi guys. Hi Anro. Hi Lit Edits. So I moved to Colombia, and I was living with, hi Deepak. I was living with or I guess still am, with my 95-year-old grandmother. And I was, hi AJ, hi everyone. And so, I literally not just my 95-year-old grandma, also, my 69-year-old aunt and my 63-year-old uncle. So really starting from scratch. I haven't lived with family in a really long time. So that was really just a giant adjustment for me. So when I first moved to Colombia, I was oh my gosh, I really had a lot of things that I needed to take care of. I was having to set up Wi-Fi. Hi, good evening. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I really had to set up Wi-Fi. I really didn't have anything set up. If you go watch that video, you can see all of the details, but I ended up coming in on an air mattress. Yeah, it's a great place. And so anyway, with that, I was with my family, and to be honest, I was really excited to bond with my family and be with my family. And so I didn't go out a lot. Oh, that's really sweet. It's just a little bit, just a little bit. Thank you. So I literally was okay, well, I need to start being, more social. And then, I got invited, and that's where, I ended up, filming this whole next YouTube video. So we end up going to this place called Cocorna. And for those of you that don't know, Cocorna is in the department. So in Colombia, instead of provinces or states, you have what they're called departments. So Cocorna is actually in the department of Antioquia. So it's about 2 hours from Medellin. Thank you. And basically, I got invited on this like sort of jungle activity. And basically, it was like one of the best decisions I ever made. Like, the episode is gonna be released on Sunday, so I really don't want to give too much away. But basically, it ended up being like I only knew one person when I went to that, and I find that when you move countries and you're starting over, like it's really difficult to, I mean, for me, it's not so difficult, but I know that it can be difficult for people. But you really have to like throw yourself into social situations. Like you have to really start to look out for social networking opportunities. And I don't mean networking in the sense of like, oh, like to help with my business and stuff, like genuinely just trying to like make friends and make, you know, sort of connections. So I didn't know anyone when I went on that, but all of them seemed to know one another. So they were really just trying to integrate me. And I think some of them like didn't quite know each other that well. So I go, and honestly, it was so sweet. Like everyone was just so kind to me. Like Colombians, I will say this like over and over and over again, like Colombians are just like some of the sweetest and kindest, like most like friendliest people. I don't answer questions about my romantic life, so I will ignore that one. And yeah, everyone was just super, super, super sweet. And I had no idea what we were really doing or like what that region was like. Like I had no idea, you know, how long the hike was gonna be, if it was gonna be a super intense one or something that was a little bit more chill. And it ended up being exactly like stuff that's up my alley. Like it was, I think in total, like 6 to 7 hours of how long that it took. And we ended up going to, you know, you see a lot of cool scenery, but there is one thing in the video that is something that is legal here, but not in other countries. And it was being grown right there in the valley. And I really don't want YouTube to take down this video because it's really not about glorifying this substance that was there, but it was something that honestly just really helped me connect to nature, connect with the environment, and really expand my mind of like, wow, like, you know, there's so much I don't know about Colombia and plant medicine and all of these things. And so it really just got me, it was like the perfect initiation to moving to Colombia, if that makes sense. Like I met this man, he was our guide that was on the activity with us, and his name is Ivan. And I actually, when I launch the video, I will put the contact of the place that I stayed at because they're so sweet. But basically, he ended up being our guide to take us into the trail. And he actually studied in the Amazon for like 2 years, like with indigenous communities. Like he knows so much about plants and plant medicine and has really learned from a lot of these communities, like all of the things that he knows. And so I was really like, I think everybody thought I had a crush on him because I couldn't leave his side the entire time. Like, you know, he just knew so much. So I was like, what's this? What's that? What's this? What's that? And he was just so knowledgeable. And I think that he would never even know this, but I just think that he just got me like really like wide-eyed and excited about Colombia. I'd never met someone like that before. And, you know, it was just so interesting. I was like, whoa, like there's just so much I don't know and I want to learn. I really, really want to learn. And so he actually, a little bit of a spoiler, but he is the one that ends up recommending me my contact that I stayed with in the Amazon. And that's gonna come out, I would say, in the next 3 weeks, because I'm getting a lot better with getting faster to getting out this content. So he is the one that introduced me to a man named Don Hilberto, and Don Hilberto is my contact in the Amazon. And that was an experience that genuinely like changed it like just changed so much about how I view like people and their connection to nature and learning from indigenous people. Like I had never had that sort of cultural experience. And that was just something that really just blew my mind. Like it really, really, really blew my mind. So thanks to Ivan, who we meet in the next episode, I was able to meet Don Hilberto. And so with that whole series of the Amazon, like I think there's going to be a total of around 4 different episodes. One is just kind of like arriving. There's like this something called a Salmerio ceremony where it's a bit of like a healing practice. It's not ayahuasca, but it was something that was like very touching and really, really cool. And I think me and my friend cried. Not I think, we did cry. And it was really just so fascinating, and to witness how that indigenous family, like now I would say they're my friends, like definitely my friends. But to see like their connection to nature was so wild. Like, you know, before we would step foot, like this is the Amazon, you know, like this is the Pachamama. Like this is something that is, you know, the Amazon, for those of you that don't know, like is the largest rainforest in the world, like the largest rainforest in the world. So for me, that was like my second time there. So this is coming out, not next episode, but the one after that. And literally like to witness, you know, those men, oh, I have some spit on my face, but to witness like, so it was the dad whose name is Don Hilberto, and then he has these sons. And so we went with his sons that were like, one of them was in his late 20s and the other one was in his mid 30s. He was like my age. And before we would enter the jungle, like he, you know, they would ask permission from the jungle of like, you know, they refer to the spirits in the jungle as like abuelos, so grandparents. So before we would go into the jungle, it'd be like abuelos, te pido permiso, te pido perdón por todo el daño que te voy a hacer. And it was something that I just, again, had never seen before. And they were telling me so many stories about how, you know, there's certain people that come to the Amazon with bad intentions and they are not coming with a lot of respect, and that the jungle knows this. And I remember being like, whoa, like, what do you mean? And they were like, well, you know, when someone, like, for example, he was saying that some guy from Medellin went, and that this guy came, you know, to the Amazon, and that he had his machete, and that he was going through the jungle like, psh, 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 like just knocking stuff down, like being really, really reckless, like not reckless, but just being like super disrespectful. And so, you know, they had kind of said to him like, hey, bro, like, can you, you know, kind of chill out? Like, or can you not like cut down everything? Like, there's not really a necessity to do that. And the guy was like, oh, what do you mean? Like, you know, in Medellin, you know, we have the jungle as well. And, you know, kind of like basically like, fuck off. Like, I think is what he was saying. And they were like, no, you know, like, don't do that. And then that night he went to sleep, and he literally like had this nightmare, because they believe a lot in some messages, and the spirits of the jungle are going to speak to you in your dreams and like in your nightmares. I guess in this case, a nightmare. And so the guy apparently like was sleeping, you know, they were there sleeping in the Amazon jungle. And then he had woken up like, like freaking out. And that they were like, what? And he was like, oh, in my dream, I woke up, and that I in the dream, there were these small children. There were these children, and that they like took me and they took my machete, and they were like, you better treat her right. Like referring to how he was treating the Amazon, you know, poorly. And I was like, whoa, like this is so crazy. Like, I don't know, like when I told some people these stories, like some of them were like, are you sure that's true? Or like, maybe they were just making things up. I'm like, I don't, like, I believe them. Like, I literally believe them. Like, what do they have to gain from like lying to me about, and they told the story the same way so many times that I'm like, you've convinced me, like, you know, there are spirits in the jungle. Like, how could there not be? How could there not be? And like, I think that that's something that the modern world, like, we are so out of touch with those sort of things. Like, that's why I really have such deep respect for Indigenous people, that, you know, they have a connection to this earth and like to nature that is just inexplicable. And all we can do is like, I don't know, for me, I just want to learn even more about it. So that is something that I'm very, like, I think this week's episode is really kind of like the intro to, you know, my world being opened up in that way. So being a bit more, you know, I mean, I've been on hikes before and I've done these sort of things before. Let's see if this is gonna work. I don't know if this is like done. Remember, how are you, Laura? Remember me, I am the tailor in Barcelona. I make you some pants for the, yes, I do, Cami. Cami, of course I remember you. That's so crazy. Oh my gosh, this is such a long story of how I know this man. So when I'm actually working, I'm wearing my pants right now. You can see them, these are them. So I make these hiking pants, and there was a time, so I was working with this tailor in Barcelona, and she actually ended up like going away on vacation or something, and I had to make a bunch of samples before I went to Brazil, where I was going to test my pants and test them in the nature and stuff. And so then I was really desperate. Like, I didn't know what I was really doing. Like, I had never sewed before. I don't know like what it takes to like make pants. Like, I didn't have a pattern or anything. And then I literally just started going around to different tailors, and I was looking for someone to make these pants. And then I met Cami. Oh, it's so cool that you're on the live. Now I'm in Colombia. So yeah. Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estás todo? Oh, muy bien, muy bien, muy bien. So yeah, the episode of this week, I would say, is really like my initiation into Colombia, like my mind being opened around, you know, this sort of new world that I had traveled to Colombia. I've done, you know, sort of like adventurous things, but I, you know, had never really lived here. And so I think a lot of people, and I don't know if anyone on this live can resonate with that, or if you're watching this in the post recording, like starting over in a new country is already so intimidating. And so I want to like see if I can get this to stop moving, because it's kind of annoying me that, okay, yeah. Anyway, it's already so intimidating to start over in a new country and, you know, leave everything behind and, you know, just start anew. So for, you know, this next episode, I really wanted to inspire other people that not only can you start over, but also like how you can start over and open up your social world. Because really the thing that I went on, like I didn't know anyone, like I only knew one person that invited me to go on this trip, and I was lucky enough to be invited. And my biggest piece of advice for people that are starting over is that say yes to invitations, say yes to being invited to things, because you never know who's going to be there. It could be your next best friend. It could be someone you have a lot in common with. And that is literally how I made friends in Barcelona when I started over at 27 years old, you know, almost 10 years ago. No, 10 years ago, no. I only lived there for 6. So then maybe I was 28, something like that, 6 years ago. So I, you know, I would allow myself to get invited to things in Barcelona, and that led me to meeting some of my best friends. Like if I didn't say yes to going on a villa thing or going to this certain party or whatever, like I just wouldn't have met some of the people that I speak to literally on a daily basis. And so I really, really suggest that you know, put yourself out there if you're starting over. And that doesn't even matter if you're starting over. It also can apply if you're still in your same city and maybe you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And maybe you just want a change of a rhythm, like you just want to, you know, sort of experience, you know, maybe your interests have changed, and you know, the people that you were hanging out with before, you don't really have the same interests anymore. So go find these social things, because you never know how going to these things is gonna lead you to other sort of experiences. And that's exactly what happened to me. When will I be back in Barcelona? Next year, probably just for a visit. I have a wedding to go to, but now kind of based out here. So yeah, if I didn't go on that activity, I would have never met Ivan. If I didn't meet Ivan, he would have never introduced me to Don Hilberto. And if I never met Don Hilberto, I would have never been able to go to the Amazon and had this insane cultural experience. And I literally am gonna go back probably in the next 6 weeks or something. The return to the Amazon. I'm addicted to the Amazon. So really, that's what I want to say. Like, say yes to opportunities that are going to lead you to other things, because you just don't know who's going to be there. And, you know, you're going to close yourself off to opportunities if you don't get out there. So yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but the other thing I wanted to say is about the place that we went to. It's called Jacaranda. So it's a refugio natural. So it's this really sort of like eco lodge that is in the middle of the jungle. Like, it literally is in the middle of the jungle. And the owners of that place, their names are Geronimo and Caro, and they were friends and they decided to open this up. So Geronimo used to work in the cannabis industry, and Caro used to be a lawyer. So they opened up this eco lodge together. And, you know, they also started over as well, I guess we can put it that way. And it's really, truly an amazing place. It's very sustainable. They grow a lot of their fruits, like actually directly over there, and they grow coca beans. The guy, because he used to work in the cannabis industry, he knows a lot about concoctions and chemistry and things like that. So he has this little, you know, corner that's like a bit of a lab, which is so interesting because he had like some things from the Amazon. Like, I remember being like, what is in that? Like, it looked like it was growing other things. And he was like, oh, that's like some tree bark from the Amazon. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. This is a very different person. Like, that's what I loved about that experience. Everybody was so interesting and cool. And so, yeah, those two started there. And if you ever decide to go to Jacaranda, when you are booking, mention me, like mention Laura YouTube, or, you know, Laura, the Canadian Colombian girl. And you'll get free breakfast when you stay there. So that's really, I really want to support these local Colombian businesses. I think that's another big passion of mine being here, is that because all of my family is Colombian, I would identify myself as like being Canadian and Colombian. I want to highlight Colombian. Hey, Paul, nice. Yeah, I think that's you. Hey, Paul. I really want to highlight Colombian businesses, local businesses. Colombians are such hustlers. They have so much heart. And if I can in any way, like as this channel grows, as all of my platforms grow, like a big mission of mine is that I can also support those Colombian businesses so that other people can experience them too, because you will really, really have the time of your life and meet some of the most special people. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of slowly turning into this like Colombian travel spokesperson, and it makes sense. It just completely makes sense. I think Colombian people are very proud, and I would say I'm someone who's very proud of being Colombian, and I just want everybody to, yeah, thanks, Paul. Yeah, I think that it's going to just, if I can help other local businesses in the process, then that's the stuff that makes me happy. Yeah, thanks, Paul. It comes out this Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And actually, I'll show you guys some of so there is a thumbnail. I don't know which thumbnail to pick. So I actually will post a poll on YouTube of like which ones that you guys think I should do. I really hope the video doesn't get taken down because it's not about glorifying psychedelics. It really, really isn't. It's really about an initiation to Colombia and experimenting with plant medicine. And it's something that's just really fun. And so, yeah, see, the thing is that I see it so chill, and maybe YouTube won't see it as so chill, but I really hope they're listening to me that it's really not that deep. How can I show you guys how do I show you guys this one or this one? Yeah, here it is. How can I make this big? So I don't know which one to pick between it. So I don't know which ones you guys think, either the top one or the bottom one. And this is like just your help on which thumbnail to use. So which one would you click on is what I want to know. So would you click the top one or would you click the bottom one? Let me put it like that. Top, bottom. There's 20 people on here. Come on. Top, bottom. Let me show you it. Like close top. Risk it. Yeah, because I like the spacing of the letters of that one a bit more, but I don't know. Yeah. Risk it? I don't know. Yeah, let's see. I'm also going to put the poll on YouTube as well, that you can vote on there. And yeah, I'm really, really, really excited for the episode. I also curated all of the music to, be really, really fitting with the theme of it. And I would say that's like my favorite part of making YouTube videos is probably the music curation. I mean, that's not my favorite piece, but it's definitely in there. Maybe add a Colombian flag. Oh, that's smart. I'm going to do that. Yeah, because then it's a bit more clear that it's Colombia, because it doesn't say anywhere that it is Colombia. Paul, this is why we are doing this, folks. Yeah, okay, Paul, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna add a Colombian flag, and that will make it really clear that it's in Colombia, because yeah, I didn't want to put like too much text in the thumbnail, and then now that makes way more sense. Okay, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I'm really, really excited for it to come out. And I think it's also, I'm trying to get faster at getting out, these videos. I think I said already at the beginning of this live, like, I don't know why I thought that when I started YouTube that I was going to be able to put out a video a week. Like, I put a lot of attention and care into the storytelling of my channel. Like, I really, really, it's almost to a fault. Like, I really wait until everything is like absolutely perfect, and I'm trying to let go of that. Even the last video, I was like, oh, I should have done this, should have done that, da, da, da. But now, yeah, I know, Paul, like, literally, that's the thing that comes with content creation. You're just like really trying to make everything perfect, and it's so annoying. But now I'm working with an editor. I've said this like 1,000 times. I absolutely love her. If anything happens to her, I will die. Her name is Pam. She's from Peru, and it's like definitely a collaborative thing. And she's doing a lot of the legwork. So she brings all of the clips together, and I give her a creative brief. So I would say I'm still directing each episode. So what kind of story we want to tell. And now I am, this is episode 2 of season 2. But I would say this is let's see, how many episodes have I released in general? I cannot believe in the past I said, I'm going to put out a video a week. Yeah, for sure. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is only going to be episode 8. We need more content. I know the world needs more content, like content all the time. But it's gonna be, I guess this is gonna be the 8th YouTube video I've ever put out. And what I've noticed, I don't know if anyone on here is thinking about starting a channel or thinking of starting, or you make content. Paul, I know you make content. But if anyone is struggling to like getting started, I really just want to put this out there that I had no idea what I was doing with YouTube. I would say I'm a big nerd. Like I study a lot of YouTube. I like to watch a lot of things about YouTube and how to grow a channel and how to start a channel and these things. But number one thing I would say is that just make your content. Just make it. Just put it out there. Don't worry about it being perfect. And I'm not saying this as like a channel that is like, oh my gosh, I have 1 million subscribers and listen to me and buy my course. This is how you start a YouTube channel. But I will say that I have seen improvements with over the last year with all the things that I've been doing on these different social media platforms. And the number one thing that helps me just kind of get more comfortable in front of the camera, is that just practice doing your stuff, because you just start learning. There's so much I've learned from the first episode that I put out to now. This is going to be the 8th episode I put out, and already I'm ahead of getting the creative brief together for the Amazon episode, I'm really hoping I can get that out in the next 3 weeks. So I'm trying to close the gap because I want to get to like a video a week, and it's like, just make it, just put it out there, because that last episode that I put out, you're doing it right. Quality is better than quantity. Thank you, Reo. I really, really put a lot of care. I'm not even trying to convince anyone on here that I do that, that's made up, but I really put a lot of freaking care into each video, where I know that I need to put it down, and it's just because it's not perfect, put it away, is when I start to spend, too many hours on cutting this little tiny sliver of a moment that no one is going to notice. No one is going to be like, oh, I noticed that, I noticed that cut. Is when I start to be like, okay, Laura, just put it out into the universe. And, now it's time you've been looking at it too long. She does, I was joking, yeah. Oh, Paul, by the way, I am using the tripod that you gave me. It is right here. I changed the top though, because I like a little clamp to be easier to put it in and out. But I am obsessed with using this tripod. So thank you so much for that. What was I going to say? So, being too obsessive about, what you're doing, just cut it, whether you're making music, whether you're making YouTube videos, whether you're making art, any form of art, something that you're going to show to the public. Maybe it's a work presentation, that you're working on, or it's a classroom presentation that you have to do in school. Just trust yourself, because you don't know how people are going to receive it. And I am not viral. I am not super famous, but my last video, I was like, oh, this video is shit. I literally, I should believe more in myself, and I should be more proud of myself sometimes. But I put out that video, and I literally was like, I need to put it out because I have to stay true to my story. I'm trying to tell this bigger story in my narrative, and I'm like, ugh, no one's gonna find this interesting. And it's now my biggest video that I have on my channel. albeit there's only 7 episodes on there, but I'm like, what? Like, people really resonated with this? Like, why? Like, that's so, and it's like, you just don't know when you're making something that is subjective, but you put some, honest, care and tenderness into what you're doing. And I think that's what I did with that video. Like, I'm really trying to be my most authentic self. And I really want to encourage anyone that is, putting themselves into a public eye to be their most authentic selves, that I guess that's what resonated with people. Or I also think, because of the comments that were left, is that people are also thinking of starting over. I think a lot of people are, we're living in such an interesting world right now, and sometimes it can seem so bleak. And, there is this temptation around like, oh, what if I just start over? And I think especially people my age, like in, those mid 30s, late 30s, early 40s, these sort of things. I'm stuck on our intro video. I haven't even gotten into the meat and potatoes. I know it's don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just like, I think sometimes when you stare at it, to like give yourself a maximum limit to work on each scene. Like, that's one thing I've been really noticing on how I edit my, well, I guess now Pam does a lot of the work, but I do revise everything, and I end up getting my hands dirty and going into the project as well. And what I noticed is, like, I organize my stuff by scenes. Like, I used to organize my stuff around like, the chronological order of like how things happened. And I put a limit on like a timer, and I say like, you know what? I can't spend another 20 or 30 minutes on this part of the video. And I find that really helps me. That helps me a lot, because it's like, you can just get so obsessive over the tiniest things. And so, hi, Michael. I feel like your name sounds so familiar, but I don't know if we know each other in like IRL or through YouTube. I don't know. Anyway, so I really, what was I going to say? Yeah, about, thank you. I really think that you really just need to put out your stuff into the universe, because you just don't know how people are going to receive it. And so even really small things is like, I don't know, me being in my grandma's house and showing a lot of that footage of like, it's a very humble home. It's not something that's anything flashy. People really like seeing that. And I just see that as normal. Like, I just see that life as a normal thing. So I really think that you just got to not overthink your stuff. And if you want to put yourself out there, just do it. Because I think at the end of the day, what really holds a lot of people back from doing the things that they want to do. So it doesn't have to be content creation. It can be, making music, making art, making, starting a business. It can be something where you have to have some level of risk. And that risk can be so subjective. Maybe you have a lot of money and you can start these things, but it's risk about being a failure, or it's risk about, if people are going to like your stuff. And like, people don't really give a shit about what you're doing. Like, when I tell you that I started making a lot of content around my brand 2 years ago, and at first I was a little like, feeling a little like, this is a bit embarrassing, like, to put myself out there and make my videos. And I really realized, like, no one cares. No one cares about what you're doing. Like, and if anything, I would have to really, put it out there to my friends to like support me, to be like, hey, can you actually like my shit? Because people are living in their own universe. They don't care. How would you change your mentality about negative comments? So I feel like for me, I got some momentum on TikTok. And I would say the very first video that I was like trying to make on, like, I was posting a lot on TikTok, like 4 times a day. And then the very first video that I decided I was going to do that didn't go viral, but like anything over 10K to me is viral. Like, and that's crazy because my brother is super viral, super jealous of that. And it's like, I think I got so many good comments. Like I got so many like bienvenidas, welcome, you know, I got a lot of love, but I got some hate as well. And I think for me, that first video, and I'm happy that it happened at first, like that was the first time I've ever felt that. Like anytime I've ever put out content, like I've only ever gotten like sweet comments, nice comments. And then I started talking to my brother and another friend of mine who does content. And they, you know, both have their platforms like quite set up, and they're like, you just gotta get over it. Like the first round of hate is tough, but it's like, it's completely unavoidable, and you just can't let it get to you. And I would say that sometimes, like, I don't know, I think I'm just starting out. I hope it doesn't get too bad. I mean, I think no matter what, I think when you are in a public, you're being a content creator, like no matter what, there's trolls. There's really trolls everywhere. I used to I was telling my friend, I was like, I make such positive content. Like, how can anyone like but be offended or like be, you know, be provoked to even leave a hate comment like that? I guess I live a little bit too much in the cloud sometimes of like my naivete, you know? Yeah, exactly. There's gonna be trolls everywhere. I just realized that I am gonna meet a friend and, oops. Oh yeah, she messaged me. Whoops, 1 second. Hola, bien. Aquí. Sorry, guys. Okay, done. So, you know, I really can't stop. So I would say, do not respond to the comments. No, I would not advise on that. And that's also what my brother and my friend, who both, you know, have platforms, and they were like, you can't reply to it. And I honestly thought about it. Like, okay, there was like one time, like maybe like one comment that I was like, like, no, I'm gonna reply. Like they did get to me. And then I think it was around something around like, you know, you're in Colombia, so estás en Colombia, tú tienes que hablar español. So what they said is, you're in Colombia, you have to speak Spanish here. And I'm like, I didn't know if you use TikTok in another country that you automatically need to use that language. That's crazy. And I'll be completely honest, I speak in English because it's my native tongue, and the transparency is that I want to work with American brands in the future. Like that's, like, it's not a secret. Like that's how content creators make their life and make their income. I don't have any sponsors, by the way. If someone ever knows anyone that knows of one, please send them my way. But that's why I speak in English. Anyway, that doesn't matter. And so I would say that now when I scroll on, you know, sort of, you know, the activity bar of reading my comments, I will get some hate here and there. And honestly, I think it's just getting easier. It's just like I read it and I'm like, and then I just move on. Just move on. You just can't let it take up your energy. Your energy is so valuable. Like it is the most valuable thing that I think anyone can own. Like your energy can control your mood. It can bring you up. It can bring you down. And don't comment back, Paul. No, do not do that. They're winning. That's what they want. That's what trolls want. They want a reaction from you. And so, but that's still energy. That's still energy. Even if I just ignore it. I just ignore it, and it doesn't steal my energy, because that energy that you spend, you know, of being like, oh, you know, explaining yourself or whatever, that is now taken like a little bit of that social energy that you need to finish your video, our video, or that you need to, you know, plan the next thing. It's depleting that energy that you have in your reservoir. So let me just double check. Okay. ningún problema, no tengo prisa. Sorry. Sorry. So, anyway, yeah, don't reply back. And because guess what? The trolls, they want a reply, they want you to respond. And I really think that there are some trolls out there that it's like, oh, nice, I got a reaction from him, like, you know, and then you're just gonna reply and it's like, they're just gonna keep doing it. And then like other trolls that, you know, will see that, they'll know that, you know, they can get a rise out of you. So just ignore it. I mean, I had people trolling me. Yesterday was like, I don't know, the third time I've ever been on YouTube Live. And some people were like, this guy was literally harassing me, just like being like, nice rack. And I was like, okay, I can't really ignore this one. So if it's really bad, like if it's in a live or something, like you can kick those people out. I also think that's really healthy too. Like if you're on live and you're getting hate, it's like you can just remove people, and I won't be shy about why I'm removing someone, but I don't want to like get into it of like why. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, you're out, bye, like just like a classroom. But yeah, I would say focus on, you know, perhaps a lot of the hate is just jealousy. If I don't like a vid, I just click off of it. Life's too short for negativity. I completely agree, Reu. Like, I honestly think that that's what I thought when I saw some of these, when I see really hateful comments on other people's videos, like forget about me. When I see negative comments, I'm like, you took the time to write that. Like, if I don't like exactly what you just said, Reu, like, if I don't like something that I'm seeing, it's just like, oh, that's annoying. And guess what? There is a beautiful button in most of these social media platforms that's on the bottom right. It's usually on like the bottom right. You click more and I go not interested. Like literally, I'm just trying to like clean up my algorithm. And so instead of like me putting the effort to like, I don't know, just write something being like, you know, I can't even replicate a hate comment, but like, you know, some of them can be really nasty. And so it's like, yeah, people that take the time to do that, it's just probably, you know, not really happy with their own lives. And I think some of them are just bots. Like that's another thing we forget, like bots are a thing. And like, you know, I mean, I can get really conspiracy theory about bots, but like, you know, there are full-on campaigns, like PR campaigns that, you know, celebrities and, you know, brands will use to like put out comments into certain platforms to generate buzz about something. So some of these things could literally be bots, which is kind of crazy and sad. And I have to start fact checking memes, but I saw, this water like doesn't look that clean. Is it? I mean, I've been drinking it, but let's see. I didn't think about negative commenting bots. I mean, I don't think it's happening to like my channel, but on like really big things, like I don't know, there was one like court case that I was following around this actress and her director. It was like the Blake Lively thing about that movie, and all these like things got released of like the, you know, these texts and stuff, and there was text between like the PR woman and that guy, and she was like, yeah, something about the bots. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Like, if you have a big PR scandal or something, like, and you want to like get control of the narrative and just, you know, get control about your public image, like you can just buy a bunch of bots and then, you know, just make the other person look crazy and, you know, support you. Yeah, it's totally a thing. And I was like, yeah, of course. I can't believe I didn't think about that being real. And then I saw this meme the other day. It was like, there will be a point where there will be a point where there'd be more bots than people on the internet. And I was like, wow, that's depressing. I've bought bots before for my gaming channel for fun to see how it was. Cool. So yeah, do not reply to hate comments. And you know what? Let's turn this into an after school special as well, because I love thinking positively and seeing the world in a positive way. Apply that to your real world life as well. Like, there are people that are going to be dicks. There are people that are going to be rude to you in real life. There could be someone that, you know, you just went to, 1 second. This is where my ADHD really comes in. Podemos no caminar y estar tranquis sentadas en el parque, algo así. Okay, let me get back to, like, this is something I'm actually very passionate about, is that sometimes you're going to meet people that are going to be, let's just call it what it is, straight up assholes. They're going to be complete assholes to you. And you know what? I even would kill those people with kindness and not react to those people either. I mean, it really depends. Like, if they said something to me like really offside, that maybe if you catch me on a bad day, I'm going to say something, but you have no idea what's going on in someone's life. We really have to exercise a lot more empathy and kindness in this world. And, you know, even like the other day at my Airbnb host, like he actually wasn't rude to me at all. He was very, very kind. But then as we were talking, he was like, oh yeah, I just had a breakup like 10 days ago, and our son is 1.5 years. And he started to tear up, and I was like, wow. I'm like, you really have no idea what people are going through, and people are the main character of their lives. Like, they could have just gone through, you know, going through a separation, gone through a divorce, lost their mom, lost their dog, like, and then that day, maybe you run into them and they're just like a fucking dick to you. And just, you know, we just need to really, really not assume the worst in people and just kill people with kindness. We need more kindness in this world. And so sometimes people's negativity and stuff, like, you know, when someone is, you know, not that nice to me and stuff, I'm like, you know, they got their stuff going on, and just like, don't let it get to you. Like, just don't take things personally. I find people, and don't get me wrong, I can do this a lot as well. Like, I really, really, thank you so much, Paul. I think this is really why something I had to really work on, is that because people have their own lives, people are going through their stuff, we really need to stop taking things so personally. So for example, if you text a friend or you texted someone and they don't get back to you for, you know, maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks, you know, I'm not saying that this someone is your best friend, like maybe it's, you know, an acquaintance or something. Like, we have to stop assuming that people are ignoring us, that people are doing things they're out to get you, or that they're doing these things on purpose. Like, most of the time, people are going through their own stuff, and we need to lead with more curiosity. And I would really, really say that, like, that is literally a part of my values. So my values are often playfulness, intentionality, curiosity, service of others, and authenticity. And curiosity is something that I really have to embody. When I used to take things really personally, like, yeah, literally glitching. I really used to take a lot of things personally with old friendships, of like reaching out to people and maybe they didn't have time for me. And being like, oh, well, you know, fuck them. Like, they guess they don't make time for me. And I stopped taking those things personally and instead started asking questions of being like, hey, it seems like maybe you don't have time to meet with me. Like, did I do something wrong? Or are you going through something right now? And 9 times out of 10, honestly, some people would write me back being like, oh, what are you talking about? Actually, I'm going through a lot right now. I have a lot of anxiety because my landlord is kicking me out. My roommate is telling me that I'm not going to get my deposit back, or another friend of mine of like, I think I might lose my job. It's like, you really, like, even forget strangers, even the people in your life, you don't know what everybody is going through. And so leading with more curiosity, I think when you inherently embody curiosity, I think that that leads to better communication. And what is it that all the therapists and all the people, the gurus of, how to have better relationships always say is having better communication. So I really think that that has really helped my own relationships, and it's just helped me be happier, because when you think like people are just being so, I don't know, that they're not putting you first, or it's all about, them against you, then you're just, isn't that kind of depressing? So I really think that that's something that I would love for anyone that's, especially if someone's going to replay this later, to take away with you, is to have more curiosity. And I really should show you guys this view. So I'm in Guatapé right now. And thanks to Paul, actually, so if anyone doesn't know me from TikTok, I have been living with my 95-year-old grandmother. If you want to watch that whole episode of Starting Over in Colombia, is like my latest video that's out there right now. And this is October 10th. It's funny because earlier in this live, I said it was October 7th. So great. And a part of like what I realized is that I could actually reach out to Airbnbs and ask them and tell them like, hey, I could like, I can take some photos or whatever. And so look at this place. Like, and then I'm going to show you guys outside, and it has like, there's a reservoir here. Oh, it's so nice out. I should have been doing this live outside this whole time. Like, look at that. Yes, I did reach out. And so this is my second one, actually, that I did the deal with of, this one wanted photos and a piece of content. And then the other one just wanted photos and a drone shot. So thankfully I have my drone. And yeah, this is honestly, so I should have been doing this out here this entire time. I really hope, I just realized I haven't been wearing a microphone this whole time. And the other live that I did, yes, it is a lake. The other live that I did, the sound was horrible. So yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys can hear me all right. Yeah, second one. So yeah, what I will say is that anyone that is on here that is new to my channel, or you're not subscribed yet, please go onto my channel and subscribe, and make sure you hit the notification bell, because on Sunday, the new episode of the second episode of the Colombia season is getting released at 12 p.m. Eastern. Great, thanks, Paul. And if you want to support me, I have a PayPal and buy me a coffee in the description of my YouTube. So you can support this channel to, keep going. And yeah, thank you all for joining, and really excited for this Sunday. Bye.